awesome. Welcome to this week's Tuesday Live. I am your host. My name is Luca Simmons, and I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner. I'm based in the foothills of Alberta, Treaty 7 territory, in the beautiful, beautiful parts of the world that brings the prairies close into the mountains. It's a lovely spot to be nestled on this January wintry day. Listen, we are talking digestion all month long here on the Good Food and You spots online. If you enjoy this video and you want to catch more of this type of content, I'm going to encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. There's a lot of stuff that is being shuffled and changed in the world of social media and how some of this stuff goes out. So if you're wondering where I disappeared to, I will always be on my newsletter and I will always be on my website. So connect with me there. You can get to both of those through lucasimmons.com, LUKASYMONS.com. Okay, so we are talking digestion this month, and today's topic, a quick 15-minute video, is to dive into what are those top 3 saboteurs to your digestive fire. Yeah, it's saboteur. It's not saboteurs. I'm French. It's saboteur. That's a French word. What's a saboteur? Somebody who totally thwarts something and makes it not work. Yeah, gumming up the works. I'm a saboteur in some areas of my life. But how can digestion be undermined? What are those top 3 saboteurs to your digestive fire? If you've been following me for a while, you're not going to find this surprising. It is, are you ready? And then I'll dive into the why. So take note. Stress. Stress, stress. But 3 different kinds of stress, maybe, if you want to be a little bit more obvious about it or a little bit more detailed about it. Okay, here's why. So digestion is one of the biggest energy pieces that your body has to do. It takes a lot of energy to break your foods down into nutrients, extract the nutrients out of that food, assimilate it into your system, reassemble into whatever your body needs, and then send it out to where your body needs it. That whole process is really, really hard, and it takes a lot of energy. So your body prioritizes that only when you are in something called a rest and digest mode. So awesome, when you're eating, just eat. First things first. Second of all, your body has a brilliant innate wisdom to it to help it get through stressful scenarios. The people who developed the stress response, their descendants are alive and among us today. Those who did not develop the stress response did not survive to tell the tale. Developing the stress response is a coping mechanism when times are tough, when you have a saber-toothed tiger staring you down the face. Now, if you understand, though, your body will always prioritize that stress response because she wants you to get out of harm's way, right? So she's always going to make sure that that happens. So it doesn't matter what else you're doing, when that saber-toothed tiger shows up and that stress response gets turned on, your body goes, I don't care what else you're doing, because you're not going to need any of that if we can't get you away from the tiger. So let us get you out of harm's way first. Good work, body. First things first, that stress response is your body's way of saying, I choose to live. Marvel with me a moment. I just think that's magical. It's awesome. Turn that response on all the time, and now you start to run into problems, and that's where we're talking about today. So this is not medical advice. We are simply talking about some of the biochemistry of how the body works. So when the top 3 saboteurs, the top 3 things that really undermine and gum up the works when it comes to digestion are stress, stress, stress. Here's why. When that stress response is on in the body, the first thing to go is your digestion. Turn it off, because who cares? Who needs whatever you're eating? Pad Thai that I just had for lunch, homemade. Who cares about the pad Thai? Because if you don't live, you're not going to be able to get to the nutrients. Let's let you live first, so now you can get the nutrients from your pad Thai later. How about that? And your body will always go, good idea. Yeah, the body will always prioritize that stress response. Awesome. However, when the stress response is on, digestion gets turned off. So when I'm talking stress, 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 there's 3 types of stress that I want to underline here. There is the external stress. There is the internal stress, and there is the self-talk and the mind stuff that we do. So 3 types of stress. I want you to think of it in 3 different ways. So what's the external stress? Well, the external stress is, hi, are you a human in 2021? Let me add fear to your bucket. Good idea. So yeah, the stress of what's happening in the world, what's happening in your workplace, what's happening in your own life. Maybe there is a history of trauma in your family. Yeah, that totally is external stress. Maybe there is, you are living in a volatile home situation. Oh my gosh, how is that not external stress? You don't know if your place of business is going to be open in 3 weeks because of another lockdown. Yeah, how is that not external stress? You don't know if your job is still going to be there because the price of oil just went down. And now your entire industry is up in arms and thinking, how the heck do we come back from this? Pivot. Pivoting is the secret. Anyway, that's for another day. So the external stress can certainly be that, right? The stress of, are you going to make it through the day? Are you going to have a job? Do you have all the things that you need to get your family alive to another next 24 hours? All of those external stressors are certainly one of those saboteurs of digestion. When that stress gets turned on, digestion gets turned off. Oops. Yeah, your body can handle it for a short time, but when it happens all the time, that's where the problem lies. So that's the external stress. The second type of stress is the internal stress. So there is an internal stress that also happens in the body. And that internal stress is known as low-grade chronic inflammation. And ground zero for that is the gut. So I say all of this and I'm skimming over it because I have hours of free lives I've done that explain all of this. So go back in the repository, either here on Facebook or on YouTube, and see what you can find when it comes to stress, when it comes to inflammation, when it comes to gut and digestion. That internal low-grade inflammation trips the stress response in the body in a biochemical way. How do you know you have low-grade chronic inflammation? Do you have an autoimmune condition? Do you have undigested food in your stool? Do you bloat? Do you have problems with your periods? Do you have a chronic disease diagnosis? Do you have skin issues? Do you have brain fog? Do you have any of those degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, ALS, those types of things, MS? Like all of those things that are diseases that take a really long time to show up, all have at the core a very common theme called low-grade chronic inflammation. That low-grade chronic inflammation turns on your body's stress response biochemically in the body. And when you do that, oops, digestion gets shut down. Whoops. Yeah, whips. Now, or whoops. So those are the first two, external and internal. The third one is the self-talk we have. That's the one where you're going to do an action piece today, okay? The self-talk we have about how we're not good enough, we can't do this on our own, we don't deserve it for whatever reason, and whether or not that is the theme that you've got going on, or it's a theme you've yet to uncover in your life, when there is that self-talk of, I can't do this, I can't, how am I gonna, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, absolutely, it's okay. I'm not saying don't be overwhelmed. But the self-talk and the emotional thing that's going on in the body, when emotions are big, when moods feel really uneven, really unsteady, and you do not feel like you have steady footing. That is the third type of stress, and that is the emotional stress, the self-talk, all of that stuff that happens inside with how we're feeling. The action piece to this, there's one for each. How can you, for the first piece, right? What's external stress? So external stress is, do you have a job or not? How much control do you have over that? Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. If there is a modicum of control that you would be able to go, you know what? This is a crack and I see how I can move through that crack and get out of that external stress going on. Explore it. You don't have to commit to it, but explore it. That could be a really nice first step. If that feels safe for you, and if it doesn't, reach out to me and we'll find some supports to put in place for you. I have some contacts with therapists here in Calgary, and I have a referral list already going. Internal stress. deal with what's going on in your gut. Do anything and everything you can to support your gut health. That means so many different things, and I have free classes and content all over my website and YouTube channel and Facebook things and Instagram in the live. So like seek and search or send me a message, because that is what I do, and let's get you on the road to reducing that internal stress. Let's reduce what's happening in the gut so that you can quiet things, so we're not tripping the stress response in the body, so that you can digest the foods you're eating. Because if you're paying top dollar for that steak, do we want that steak to work for you? Of course we do. Let's improve how you digest. So internally, do what you can to help support the low-grade inflammation and reducing the low-grade inflammation and nourishing the gut lining. Hit me up if you want ideas on how to do that. I'll put the contact down below. Third piece, self-talk. This is quite possibly the biggest. So the self-talk and the I can't and I won't and I talked about this very briefly in a little video I did on my back deck this morning. Become the gatekeeper. Become an active participant. Become a decider. And become that gatekeeper and go, oh my gosh, I have too much. I'm putting down the gate here. I'm going beyond the gate. I'm going to pick one thing for today. Whoop, okay. And I'm going to put that in place. And the rest, I'm going to say, no, not today. And work on that one piece. Because the secret is you are actually able to do things. You are capable of so much. However, it's 2021 and we feel like the things we have to do are a list of 200 things. I have knowledge of 0 individuals who can take on 200 things today. No one can. Everyone can take on one thing. And that thing can be, I'm going for a nap. I am implementing one idea today, or I'm going to contact Luca because I want to start working on this. Or I'm going to go do my own research and look at all of the free videos that Luca's got up, because it's time for me to put one foot in front of the other. The self-talk, the way to beat that self-talk is to choose one action piece and one action piece only at a time. Become the gatekeeper. Send everything outside of the gate and only let in one thing at a time. You have to build that gate. And that is happening because there's leaky gut stuff going on. If your gut is leaky, what do you think is happening energetically around you? Holy cannoli kittens. It is all connected. And also, we are being pushed further and further apart. Don't talk to anybody. Don't do anything. I'm not saying go and gather in groups. I'm not an idiot. But couple that with the fact that we live 4 provinces over from grandparents now. It wasn't always the way. We always had a community of people living close by where 15 people did the jobs of 15 people for a community of 25 or 30 or 35. Now you are a community of 3 and you're supposed to do the work of 8 people. Oh, is that doable? Oh, how is that not adding to the stress at level number 3? For sure. So become the gatekeeper. Set up the boundary. Go, not today. Oh, okay, one piece today. Yeah, I'm going to do one piece. That's all I want. Thanks, bye. And then work at that. So which piece is going to resonate for you? 1, 2, or 3? Are you talking the external stress? Are you talking the low-grade inflammation stress? Or are you talking the emotional stress? Which one do you think is thwarting your digestion right now? And which one do you want to put supports in place for? If you need help to figure this out, as always, I'm here to serve. Holler my way. I will drop a link on how to book in for a free 15-minute chat in the comments below. In the meantime, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, please do so. I'll drop a link to that as well down below. That is where I compile what's put together for you. Soon it's going to move to a member platform kind of thing, which will be a paid thing because these things take up 2 days of my life every week, and it's no longer sustainable. So I'm looking to shift the model. Right now, everything is accessible though for free, and you'll get it all through the newsletter. Put your name down in the links down below shortly. In the meantime, I wish you a fantastic week. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Salut, à bientôt!